All right, so a bunch of people have been asking for a while now when we're going to have some like show merchandise. Well, it's coming. I'm partnering up with a merchandise company, and they're going to handle all that for us. We have a few different designs. I got 3 designs right now in the works, and there's going to be a whole array of merchandise, you know, short sleeves, long sleeves, hoodies, crew necks, what have you. That'll be coming sometime in March. Follow me on Instagram at Big Truth. I'll make an announcement as soon as I have that all set and ready to roll. I was just testing out a couple different merch companies and getting samples from them and seeing who I liked better and which one we'd go with. And I think I have it pretty much ready to go. I just got to check one more sample that I should be getting this week. And once that happens, I'm going to flip the switch and that's going to go live. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, I'm sending you some free stuff, and that's what you get for free. And when I say for free, like I'm buying it because I don't get it for free, and I'm going to send it to you because I appreciate my Patreon subscribers. And based on your level of patronage, that kind of depends. That's going to determine what you get. Could get a sweatshirt. You don't. You could get some other stuff. Could get a T-shirt. Could get stuff smaller. You know, it just depends on what level you sign up for. So if you want to sign up, get in now. You're going to get something free. Patreon.com/BigTruth. There's 4 different levels of subscription that you could choose from, and they all have their own exclusive benefits. And I'm getting a new computer soon and going to be messing with video and stuff, and there's going to be all kinds of more extras over at Patreon.com. You always get early access to episodes, and there's going to be some special bonus episodes just for the Patreon subscribers. So if you dig the show, definitely go check it out because it's a fun community over there. All right. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into it today. But I do got to say one thing. If you got some bare spots on your wall that you're looking to fill with artwork, you got to go check out tattooflashcollective.com. You know, whether it's for your dorm room, your bedroom, your living room, your tattoo shop, your garage, wherever, your bar, there's something for you over there. Now, obviously, they specialize in tattoo flash that's created by tattoo artists all around the world. But there's also prints and posters and books and whatnot. So check them out, tattooflashcollective.com. Use the promo code BigTruth at checkout, and you get 10% off your order. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you get even more off your order, but you got to join to find out what that code is. So without further ado, we're going to just jump into it today. Make sure you check out chopperhead.com if you need anything motorcycle related or some fucking fly swag and apparel. And BigTruthPodcast.com for more information on the show. Without further ado, let's jump into it right now. Yes, once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Big Truth Podcast. And we're broadcasting live from the extra table here at Chopperhead Custom Cycles in lovely Freetown, Mass, in the lower right-hand side of the Bridgewater Triangle, lower right-hand quadrant there in the corner. And I'm here with my man Keith Freeman, who you might know from bands like Restraining Order and Intimidation and 37 others that he's going to talk about in a second, and or from his paranormal podcast and whatnot. But Keith, what's happening, dude?
What up?
Good to have you here at the shop.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we already touched on about half-hour conversation that would have been good to record, but you know, it is. We already talked about hardcore and record collecting and paranormal stuff. But yeah, we'll get right back into it, man. So, first of all, why don't we just start by you listing all your current bands?
Oh man, I have a tough time doing that sometimes. Yeah. So Restraining Order. Maniac.
Oh yeah, with George. Well, George used to be a Maniac, right?
Yeah. I joined Maniac. Like Maniac's been a band for a minute, so I like that shit. The OG lineup is like just a singer, and everyone else is just like new. But I'm like the second oldest, I guess, member besides Will, the singer.
Nice. Good stuff. Didn't we play together?
Yeah, we played with Madball, Middle East Downstairs.
Yeah, man, that was a good set.
That was dope. My first time ever playing down there, so it was cool.
Yeah, Joe Hawk Battle Rooms, he's the one who put me on you guys. He was like, dude, you like this band Maniac from Western Mass? And I listened, and I was like, this shit's fucking good.
Oh shit, respect.
Yeah. I think I reached out too about doing more shows, and then wherever that thing went, it died. It didn't. I don't even think it got read. So, but
oh shit, yeah, we're not
putting you motherfuckers on blast. Just saying. No, I'm just kidding. But
we're not a very active band.
No, either is War Machine. So, all right, Intimidation. What else?
I got this one we did during the pandemic that we've played a handful of shows, but we just dropped a new demo. It's called All Due Respect. What's that? 5. I have another one called Near Dark, another pandemic band. I don't even know if these bands are still like active. Yeah, I mean they're not active, but I don't think we're broken up. Yeah, the projects.
Yeah, they're projects.
What am I missing?
Is all this stuff hardcore? I know Intimidation's more on the oi side, but is it hardcore stuff or is it like all over the place?
Yeah, it's hardcore, but it's like, some's heavier, some's more like sounds like Lifetime kind of shit. All Due Respect's kind of like basically like Push Button Warfare is from Western Mass, and we wanted to pay homage to them, so we wanted to do a band like that. So it's like kind of Push Button, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s New York kind of stuff.
Cool. And yeah, so why don't, before we get into all the band stuff, and are you doing bass in all of them or are you doing different things?
Nah, bass in every band.
I didn't know, sometimes people, I want to do vocals, and so they do that and move around a little bit, switch spots. How did you even find your way into like hardcore or punk stuff or alternative shit? How'd you find it? What was that path?
It's always a funny story because like my household, we didn't have any of that. Like I didn't even know like half this, like these genres of music was, because my household was like, I had a very religious household. So it's like gospel music or like R&B or like soul kind of stuff.
Sure.
So that's what I grew up around. And then it wasn't until I went to middle school that I got into like alternative like rock music. I was a big nerd. Like I was into like anime and shit. So they had like anime music videos with like Linkin Park in the background, and I was like, oh, it's like rap, but it's like guitars and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the catalyst. And I didn't have access to the internet really back then, because like, I mean, the internet was around, but like we didn't. My family didn't have a lot of money, so it was just me and my mom basically. So I either had to like finesse the AOL CDs, which I used to do a little bit later. But in order to find out about music,
if you're younger and don't know what he's talking about, this is like early days of like dial up, when internet took like 7 minutes to log on, and
if somebody picked up the phone, like it would kick you offline.
Disconnected.
You're like, no.
You're
like, Mom, get off the phone. I
forgot about all that and all the weird noises it would make when it was like connected and shit. Yeah, funny shit, man.
I call it the Dark Ages.
Yeah. Dark Ages was actually before that, when there was nothing. But those were also the fun ages because you get away with a lot more shit.
Yeah. But basically, like, I would just put on like MTV and whatever they would show, I would just check it out.
Yeah.
I didn't have money to buy CDs, and I couldn't look them up online. So it's just like basically just whatever was on TV.
Yeah.
And then like later on, I got more into like more like metal moshy shit.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hardcore because I kept hearing the term hardcore.
Yeah.
And then
how did you get into the metally stuff?
Same thing, just like the internet, and then not the internet, TV, and then like,
was that like, did they still have like Headbangers Ball and all that stuff?
So it was MTV2. There was Comcast On Demand, because I didn't really get into like hardcore until like high school. I was a late bloomer. But there was Fuse and MTV2, so I would just look up that stuff. And my aunt had a computer, so I was able to like look more into like bands then. But I thought like, I don't know, that's kind of embarrassing. But like So, like some of the shit I listened to was like, you know, typical like Hot Topic, like metalcore stuff.
Everyone starts somewhere, and everything has a gateway.
Yeah. So I would look up. It was big MySpace era too. Like MySpace was very important for me, like finding a lot of stuff.
I still feel like I prefer MySpace over some of the other social medias.
Yeah, because it was more music oriented.
Yeah, you know? And you could put that playlist right on the front of your page.
Yep.
I found mine, and I looked at it like a while back, and I guess the last time I had updated MySpace, like, I was looking at that playlist, and I was like, it's funny because it's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go back, and it's like, oh shit.
It was cool because when you got into a band, they posted all their influences too. So it's like you can just read and be like, oh, who's that? Or you look at their top like 8 or whatever and be like, oh, who's this band? Yeah. And you get into stuff like that. But
we should do a push to get everyone off fucking Facebook and stuff. Get back onto MySpace. Let's push it. You should only make the new Restraining Order shit available on MySpace, and just so you get everyone over there again. And yeah. Let's do that. I'm just fucking around.
You might be onto something.
Yeah. Fuck fucking Instagram now. Fuck fucking Facebook, Twitter, or X or whatever it's called. Let's go back to MySpace. Get Tom out of retirement.
Wonder what Tom's up to right now.
He's chilling on some islands, you know what I mean? Or something like with the money he made. He doesn't have to do nothing again.
Yeah, he's set for life.
I'm assuming there was a bit good payout for him, you know?
Oh,
I would hope. I'm sure Zuckerberg didn't pay him off or anything, but someone did. But yeah, man. So what was the draw for you, right? Like as a kid who grew up in a house with like gospel and soul music, like what was the draw? Like what attracted you to like, you know, you started getting into like the alternative, like all the, you know, metal-y stuff or whatever. But like what attracted you to like the more hardcore stuff?
So I wanted to check out like a local show. Like my mom was very like strict, wouldn't let me do anything, kind of sheltered me.
Yeah.
But at some point, a lot of personal stuff happened in the household, and I ended up living with my grandmother like the last couple years of high school. And I looked up local shows through this website, Pure Volume, and I was like, oh, there's a hardcore show like a town over. And I had her drop me off, and it was like an actual hardcore show.
Yeah.
And
you weren't familiar with the bands; you just saw that it was like a hardcore show, and you were familiar with the term, kind of, or were you familiar with the music by then?
I wasn't familiar with like what hardcore is, is,
yeah.
But I just like knew the term, and it like I don't know, sounded cool, and I thought all like the more metal shit. Not to be confused with like, you know, bands that are like hardcore with metal influence, but it's like a whole different thing. It's not the hardcore scene, you know?
Yeah.
But there's this band, Chuck Brunswick, in my area, and I went to go check them out, and I saw like kids singing along, and like it was just like, whoa, like people are getting in the face, because I thought like with bands like I put the singer on a pedestal kind of, you know, right? It's like they're like the rock stars and we're just the fans, and that was like put everything into perspective. And I want to say that's why I got a job so I could start going to shows. And then I went to like, it was at Cabot Street in Chicopee, Mass. Every Sunday they had a show, and it didn't matter like what style. Like I went every single Sunday just to check out bands, and eventually met people who like showed me bands. And then I'm like a big nerd, so like I started looking up like the history of it, like, you know,
you just
Discord
got into it.
and New York and Bad Brains and all that.
Yeah, you got into it and then just started to absorb it.
And my sister, like I have a sister too, but she didn't live with us. I think she was going to college at the time, but she bought me the American Hardcore book, the Stephen Blush one.
Yeah.
So like I read that, and it was game over after that.
Nice. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, and then, wait, what time frame was that? Like those shows, like where you started going to shows and stuff?
It was like 2006. Okay. 2006. Yeah.
Yeah. What made you like? When did you start like picking up bass, and what made you go into doing all that?
So like after like a few shows, I immediately was just like, damn, I want to do that. Yeah. So I actually had a guitar first. I had like one of those really bad like first dad guitars from Walmart.
Yeah.
So I had one of those, and I pretty much like the Comcast On Demand. They had guitar lessons, so like I just found out how to do a power chord first with just like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And I would just like pick like minor threat, like straight edge, because it's like so I would just practice with that, and then eventually I was able to do like 3 like the power chord, and I just kept trying that. And then I want to say the next year, 2007, I started meeting people, like going to shows a little bit more, and there's somebody hit me up because I think I want to play guitar in a hardcore band or something in my MySpace profile or something. And this dude hit me up, was like, yo, I moved here from Maine. We have this band called Use Your Head. We need a guitar player. Do you want to play? And I was like scared, but I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that was my first band I was ever in. I played guitar, believe it or not. I didn't play bass till a year later when I started my first band that like did stuff, like toured and stuff. This band called Alert. So everybody played guitar. Somebody had to bite the bullet, play bass, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. Been playing bass ever since.
Team player. Do you prefer bass now, or do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What
do you like? What do you like about the bass? Because it's like, it's not. Everyone that plays bass really loves it, but it's not like when people think about picking up an instrument, it's usually not the first thing. What drew you to like once you? Obviously, it was at first it was out of necessity, but like what kept you in the bass?
I love it because people always like shit on the bass, like, oh, it's the easiest, like anybody can do it, which is like to an extent, yeah, but like a bass player can make your band that much more better. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I feel like it's the underdog of like, musicians in a band, and I just want to like, I don't know, flex on it, I guess.
And you just say to Damascus,
I'm not the best bass player, but like I think like I add flavor to whatever band that I'm in,
Yeah. Plus, you guys are sadomasochists, and you like to just carry the biggest, heaviest fucking cabinets around, especially on tour when loading in and loading out every night.
All right, so here's a fun fact. I've maybe twice ever in my life brought my cab to a show. Okay. So,
yeah. Most of the time there's a backline now, but yeah, man. So, but it's true, like, right? Like, if you look at a band, and you look at a band that has like an exceptional bass player, like, it stands out.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely, even if you're only picking it up like subconsciously, it's definitely.
And it's like the foundation, like the drum and the bass are like the foundation of a band. Like, if you got a bad drummer, if you have a bad rhythm section, like what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's probably been a whole litany of bands between Alert and Restraining Order, right? Like,
yeah. So after Alert, I sang in a band called Violence to Fade, and it was like pretty much late 80s New York hardcore worship. Like, I wanted to be Killing Time, Sick of It All, Rest Pieces, all like blended into one. And you could tell because
side by side. Right?
Oh yeah,
namesake, right?
Oh yeah, just like everything. So that band was Alert started in 2008, ended in 2012.
So it had a good run.
And then Violence to Fade started in 2012 and ended in 2017. And then that's when Restraining Order started, 2017. So it's like, boom, boom, boom. But I had all different projects in between that too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been super active. Like, Restraining Order is like popped, man. Like you guys have been going hard with that.
It's definitely the most like successful band for me, like in terms of like being able to like go tour places I've always wanted to go to, and like play a lot of shows with like my favorite bands and stuff like that.
Yeah. What is Restraining Order the first time you've like toured overseas, or was it with some of the other bands?
With my own band, yeah. Before that, there was a band from Cape Cod called Caught in the Crowd, and they were our friends. We played a lot of shows with them with Alert and Violence to Fade. But they needed a bass player to do like a European tour. Yeah. And I was like, I'll do it. So I actually got to go out there.
What's your favorite spot to play out there?
Right now, probably Paris, honestly. Like with Restraining Order, we played Paris twice, and it's like 2 of the craziest shows we ever played ever. Like,
yeah,
it was crazy.
Do you play right in the city, or is it like one of those venues that's kind of on the outskirts?
The first time I think we played in the city, it was like at a cafe, like on the floor, and it was like we had no idea like that many people would care, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then this most recent time, like a couple months ago, we played, and trying to think, it was still in the city. Like his pair's pretty big.
Yeah.
But it was like a bar, and then downstairs it was like a venue.
Yeah.
And that was crazy too. I don't know. I think this most previous time was crazier than the first time.
Well, yeah, because with Europe, like you can be known and you go out there and it's crazy, but just going out that one time, word spreads, and then the next time you go, right, it's like.
And this was the first time we went on our own. Like the last couple times was like it was part of like a tour.
Yeah. And
then this most recent time we went on our own to try to see like, how we do on our own. And it was awesome.
Yeah. So Paris is the funnest so far?
Yeah. It's hard because there's like fun in the sense of like the actual show, and then there's fun like cool like city to explore.
Sure, yeah.
Like I got to go to Venice like last summer, and that was like a movie, like straight up like a movie. So
what we went on that tour with the War Machine Slapshot, Risk and Death Before Dishonor one, and Venice was where did you play? Did you play in that like
We didn't play in Venice. We played in.
It's like right down the road, right?
It's like Padova.
Was it that like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, that was like, it's like not a commune, but it's.
Oh no! So this was like we played like a fair, like
a fair. All
yeah,
right.
It was weird because we didn't know. So
that's what's weird about Europe, right? You never know what you're walking into. Like you walk into you're playing a theater one night, you're playing a small club one night, you're playing someone's like some fucking weird shed somewhere. Like it's fucking all over the place.
Yeah, it was just like we show up and it's like a legit like a fair. Like there's just civilians like walking around
county fair like.
And then we played. It was sick.
And did a lot of kids show up, like hardcore kids?
Yeah, like you see them all sprinkled out. Like you're like, oh.
Then once the show started, everyone congregated.
Yep.
Yeah, when we played Venice, it was like, wasn't a commune, but it was like some kind of weird co-op venue. There's a lot of that in Europe.
Oh yeah,
co-op venues is like, I don't know. I think motherfuckers live here too. Like who knows what the fuck's going on, right? But it was wild. But Venice is fun, man. It's crazy though. Like, did you find this? It's beautiful, and every time you turn a corner, it's like you could take another like most picturesque picture you ever taken.
Oh yeah.
But after a while, it's like after 5 hours of it, I'm like, where the fuck am I now? Like, cause it's like it all kind of ends up looking the same. Like, you know what I mean? It's wild.
Yeah, we all split up. It was like 20, like a lot of us.
Yeah.
And then like it was getting to the time where we had to go back to the show, and we starting to get lost, like trying to find where the train station was.
Yeah, it's wild, right? Because just getting out of there, like finding your way back to like getting out of the downtown part, for lack of a better word, like in all the canals and stuff, like it gets a little fucking tricky.
Yep. And it was like, oh, we can take the gondola back to it, but like that shit's expensive. Like we did it for like, bucket list thing. But,
yeah. I saw the picture.
But I was like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Now, did you guys eat there in Venice?
Yeah, I got pizza because
Yeah, you got.
I had espresso shots, like the legit ones for the first time. I didn't know.
Wild, right?
I didn't know that was like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
You just go by and be like, yeah, I want 2 of those, and just
bang them,
and be on your way.
Yeah, it's Italian food in Italy is a different thing.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's different. Where else? What were some of the notable places? Did you guys do any Eastern Europe stuff?
We did Warsaw.
Yeah.
Not this last time, but last summer. So
how was that?
It was awesome.
Poland goes fucking hard, dude. Those kids go bananas.
I was gonna say like, I don't want to make any enemies here, but like Europe, not as hard as we are here.
Yeah.
And Poland was like, was like, damn, it's like being back home. Like these motherfuckers are like going crazy.
They go fucking hard, man. They love it too. And
homie broke his arm. Like I was just like, all right.
And you could tell, like they are like, they're very appreciative of every bands that go out there. But they just go fucking hard. Like that was one of my favorite places to play was Poland because we didn't play Warsaw. We played I can't even remember now. But one of the other cities, like, and it was bananas. Poland was hard.
Trying to think where else.
Czech Republic was hard. Did you guys play there? Did you guys walk around like Budapest or Hungary, like any of that stuff?
Yeah,
those cities are wild, right? Like, beautiful.
Budapest is awesome. The first time I ever went to Budapest, we went to that big like bathhouse thing that everyone goes to.
Oh yeah. A bunch of the guys went. I didn't go to that. I forgot where I was. I was walking around.
I didn't go this time, but I had been there, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
it was cool. Budapest is beautiful. Prague is cool.
I liked Prague a lot.
I was bummed because like the first time I ever went to Prague, we walked around and did all like the cool touristy stuff. But this last summer, I don't even know what happened, but I got so sick. Like,
oh, that's the worst.
So I was just at the venues, like took some asprin. And I was just like knocked out. Yeah,
you were trying to just conserve energy But Prague's one of the most beautiful cities, I think, to walk around. Especially go over that bridge, and it's like then you almost feel like you're just walking back in time.
Yeah,
because it's like now you're in this fucking medieval city. Like you walk over this bridge and you're like, yo, there's still like archery turrets and shit, like in the columns and stuff, like for like archers and shit. It's fucking wild. That's what's cool about Europe. It's like we think we got a long history here, and then you go out there and you're like, bro, we're like teenagers. Yeah. Fucking wild. But so would you say you guys are gearing to go up or to Australia?
Yeah. What is this? We go to Australia in April. Never been. We're going to be out there for like 10 days or 11 days or
just
something.
Australia, or are you hitting any of the other like?
So we're doing Australia, and then we're doing some days in Southeast Asia. We're doing Beijing. I've never like.
You're doing China?
Yeah.
How did that get set up?
There's just a dude that hit us up and was just like, we want to bring you to Southeast Asia. And then he's like a dude that like brings out, our homies and stuff. So we're like, all right, we can trust him, I guess. And he just hits us with like, all right, here's the routing. And we're just like, all right, kind of thing.
So what countries are you hitting? So you're hitting Beijing, China, obviously?
Yeah, we're doing
Singapore or any of that stuff?
We're doing Singapore. Sadly, not Indonesia.
Yeah.
I know that's like a spot we really wanted to hit because we're always getting like people like commenting like, come to Indonesia.
It's wild, right? Because even with motorcycle shit, like chopper shit, like Indonesia is wild. Like it's like they're into this shit. Like they're into like hardcore stuff. They're into chopper stuff. Like it's wild. We get hit up too, like from Indonesian dudes that ride and stuff, and it's bananas. Like I'm like, what's going on out there? I want to get out there. I want
to go, but I think they're doing like some like election or something this year, and that dude was just like, not a good time to come.
Not a good time. Yeah,
just like, damn it.
Yeah. Singapore would be wild, right? Like,
yeah, do Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand.
Oh, nice.
So, and then we're going. It's not announced yet, but I mean, it should be fairly soon. Maybe by the time this is out.
This will be out not like in a week and a half.
All right. Even if it's
all right, hold on. I wish I had music to make it like an exclusive. Hold on. Nope. All right, get ready for an exclusive. All right.
They were going to Japan.
Oh, nice.
And that is my ultimate life goal from a kid, is going to Japan.
Oh yeah, because you're an anime kid.
Yeah, I love that. And
you
arcades.
Spend all your money. You spend all your money on fucking bullshit.
And I love Japanese hardcore too. So it's like I'm scared. Like I'm scared for like spending money.
Yeah. Or just not coming home.
Yeah, I'm just like there's so much I want, much I want to do.
Is that part of that same run? Obviously.
Yeah. I think we're doing 4 or 5 days out there. So altogether, we're going to be gone like a whole month.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah.
But I think that's
you kind of need that, man, because that flight's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've flown to Tokyo, but I have not flown to Australia. But
we're like, if we're going to be out there, let's just bang it all out, like, and then chill pretty much for the rest of the year.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. That's rad. When's that coming up? Summer?
Yeah, so mid-April is when we head to Australia, and then we come back mid-May. So
what are you doing in Australia? You doing like both coasts? Like
just the East Coast, Gold Coast, whatever.
Nice.
A lot of people, like a couple people on the West Coast, were just like, "Why are you skipping us?"
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't have control over that. Like,
I'm coming from the United States to Australia. You can take a little shuttle across your country and get over to us. You know what I mean? Not to be like a dick, but like, hey, like we're in your country. You can make it over to come meet us halfway. It's not even halfway.
I've flown out to California to see a band many times in my
hell yeah, man. Any U.S. stuff going on, or are you just kind of chilling right now?
No, we have like one show so far. We're doing like one of the Have Heart shows. They asked us to play New York, which is really cool of them to do. So we're gonna do that, and then maybe a couple others I can't really talk about.
Okay.
But
only one exclusive, motherfuckers. Only one exclusive per episode. So you got it already.
Maybe like a weekend or something in the fall.
Yeah.
There's this like young band from our area that's like, a lot of young kids are not playing like punk shit, like which is cool. Like whatever, young kids like play whatever hardcore you want. Like I'm happy that there's young kids at shows like doing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing, booking shows. But there's just one band called Target Scammers from our area, and I saw them and I was like, oh snap, I didn't even know this existed here. We was like, yeah, we should do some shows with these kids.
Yeah. Well, what is it like? More in the punk vein, you were saying?
Yeah, like Deep Woundy, like that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, like blasty, like fast.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But also like goofy too. So it's like it's dope. Like,
yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, because Deep Wound was from out that area.
Yep.
Right?
Westfield.
Yeah. Siege.
Yep.
Well, Siege was
no. Deep Wound like outpatients.
Outpatients. Yeah. But Deep Wound and Siege, they always like kind of went together in my head for some, you know what I mean, musically. Yeah. But yeah, man, I still have I think I still have a Deep Wound 7-inch kicking around.
Damn, I don't.
You don't? No. All right. So because it's from your area, I promise, like when I get my 7 inches back, if I still have the Deep Wound one, it's yours. I'll gift it to you.
Oh man.
Because
you're the best.
It's from your area, so you should have that.
So I know we were talking about records earlier. I used to be like a crazy collector. Like when I first got into hardcore, I was just obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then I had a house fire.
Oh, fuck.
I want to say 2010 and lost everything.
Everything.
So that kind of discouraged me from like going as hard.
Yeah.
But I got a lot.
But what you get's like, what are the ones that you want to have? Like, because I know you got it. Like, right. Like, so I know you might not want to replace your whole collection or go as hard, but I'm sure there's certain records that you have either had in the past or want again or never had but want.
So here's my thing. Like, if I actually try with the internet, I could go.
Get them all, yeah.
But like, I'm more of like a go to a record store, and if it's there, I'll get it. Like, I don't like buying things off of Discogs or like eBay or whatever anymore. I used to, but I used to have Underdog True Blue 7-inch on blue, and I don't even think that's the rarest color, but like there's this dude in my area, I don't know if you know Jeff Guzman. He was in that band At All Costs from New York.
Yeah.
So he lives in my area, and like when I got into hardcore, I had met him a little early on, and he sold me like all like the Rev stuff. Like he sold me like Side by Side and like Warzone and like like all that stuff. And I was just like, my eyes lit up like, like a kid in a candy store. And then and the Underdog 7-inch was included. And when I had post House Fire, I was able to get everything back, but I could never track down the Underdog one. I don't know why.
I have one.
On blue?
On blue, yeah.
Like not the Bridge 9 repress one.
No, I got the OG. Dude, I didn't, and no disrespect to anything. When I was buying records, it was back then. So like, when I was trading, I got one. If now with this is the caveat. A lot of this shit was up in my father's attic. Mm-hmm. Pulling it down, I got to go through it soon because I'm putting everything from his house that I have over there into a storage unit. And when I go through all that, I know I have that 7-inch on blue because like I saw it. It was hard to get even back in the day, and I sought it out. And so if I do have that, that's yours as well.
I will compensate you for that. Straight up.
I'm not worried about it. But let me dig through everything and dig it out because I still got to go through all that shit, and it's going to be a nightmare, and I'm not looking forward to it. But it's also going to be awesome. I think I just got to I'm not going to look at everything. I'm just getting it out of his house and bringing it to the storage unit, and I'm going to set up a table. Then I'll start going through shit. You know what I mean? Because I know there's going to be a lot of fucking like, oh shit, like
let me know. I'll come.
Yeah,
I'll come down.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But yeah, no. But if I dig that up and I have it on blue, I'll let you know. And because I do have it, but it's like I don't know if shit got lost in the fray of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do have it. If I can locate it, you got it. What else? What are the other big gets that you're looking for?
So here's the thing, like
I'm giving all of them if I have them all.
I used to collect everything, like every band I was into, but then after I got more selective.
Yeah, you got to kind of narrow it down, or you go crazy. Especially like, so this is what's a funny thing, like, and this is kind of what I'm gonna pick your brain about, because when I got into hardcore, it was mid '80s. I was a kid. I was at middle school, like 85, 80. You know, I was middle school like shit. You know, but it seemed overwhelming then, because it was the bands that were around. Mm-hmm. And then there was the bands that were from like 81, 80, 82. But that was only a fucking couple years earlier. But I missed it. But like there wasn't as much to catch up on. So like it must be getting into it in the early 2000s. You got like fucking 30 years, 40 years of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a huge fucking catalog out there. Like, so I'm sure you've navigated around and
I had
listened to a lot of different shit.
I like the early New York stuff was always like I always had my, set my sights on.
Yeah.
Like Straight Ahead, it's like one of my favorite, like top, like 5 favorite bands, hardcore bands of all time.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of their stuff before, aside from like some bootleg 7 inches.
Yeah.
But now I have the first press. I don't have it with the sticker. Yeah. I know that's like, like the record, but I have first and second press of Straight Ahead, 12 inch. And then that's the first to give it all 7 inch, and Blood, Sweat, No Tears. I think I have almost, the 7 inch is hard because there's so many different, like, they have like a bazillion pressings of it. And then there's like the Gilman Street pressing where it's like, that one's really, really hard to find. I've only seen somebody sell it once, but I have like first press, second, third, like most of that.
Yeah.
And then like I've like early Rev, early Schism stuff, Wide Awake.
Yeah.
Love the Wide Awake 7 inch. I have every single one of that except for one, I think. Trying to think. We were talking about Rest in Pieces earlier.
Oh yeah.
I was never able to track down.
I was a fan of that. I knew exactly what it was, and it was through your Barracuda. I could tell what it was. Fucking hard shirt, dude. Oh shit! I didn't even know you had the tattoo. That's fucking right.
Yeah, I got the keep your distance.
Yeah. I gotta. Later on, you gotta let me take a picture of that so I can send it to Amin. He'll be fucking stoked. But I don't know why I love that record so much.
Yeah, same. I went like when they played the B&B Bowl, I was like, I was so happy. I didn't even like. I was just going hard the whole set.
Yeah.
They had the perfect set. I got the set list at home. See, I'm a nerd. I don't do that too often, but if it's like a band I probably won't see it again, or like I like a lot.
Yeah.
I'll be like, go for the set list.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
And then down the line, I can just look at it and be like,
remember it. Yeah. So, but like, what records are you still looking for? Like, cause I know you had some. Like, what are you still like? Is it
not really? Like,
if you see something, you'll fucking snag it. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go to like a record store and I'll just look through. And
you ever been to Purchase Street Records?
No.
It's down here. My boy Roger owns it. He's got a pretty good selection and shit. It's like a hardcore metal.
Are they open right now?
Yeah, we can go over there right after this.
I'm down.
I'll call him, see if he's there. But yeah, I think they're open on Sundays. I'll double check. But shout out Purchase Street Records. Roger's been on the show early on. I think during the COVID times he was on the show. But yeah, man, fucking. I'm trying to think if there's any.
It's hard because like I was telling you earlier, I have all my stuff listed on Discogs because I don't even know what I have anymore.
Yeah.
So like I'll go to a store and I'll see a record and I'm like, oh, I'll buy this, but I have to check to see if I already don't have it. I might have it.
Well, because it's probably weird for you too because there's stuff that you probably used to have before the fire, and it's like, what do you have now versus what do you have then? And it's like people are like, how do they not know what they got? But like when you have hundreds of records, it is hard to.
Oh, another one. I mean, a lot of people are very surprised that I don't have this, but Killing Time Brightside. Yeah. I've never owned original copy of it.
Oh, really?
I don't even know how, because like I feel like I could have gotten it so many times and just I don't know. That's like one of my top two. Like I'm just pretty much if it's like 80s New York hardcore stuff, even like from like AF to like and like Abuse to like even more like obscure stuff like Crackdown and like Beyond and like stuff like that. Like I like it all.
Yeah. Crackdown was good. Crackdown was real good. I forgot where I was going with this. So, holy shit, dude! I just blinked out. Sorry, man. I got like a million things. I got like, you know what's really going on right now is I have images of like hundreds of records going through my head right now. That's what's going on. What was some of the? Did you just never bother to pick up Brightside, or you just haven't located one?
So like I said earlier, like with the internet, I'm sure I can just like find one.
I didn't. So why I'm asking is like, because to me, like, this is me showing my age, but like I just remember that as like a record, like you just get anywhere, like, you know what I mean? Like I got like the first, like got it when it came out, like, but it didn't. Is it kind of obscure now?
I don't know. I know it was just repressed, but
yeah,
I remember going to record stores and I just didn't see it. And then one time I did see it, and my homie bought it, and I was like, damn it. And then he was gonna trade me because I had 2 copies of the Turning Point LP. Yeah, which I bought by accident. I didn't know I had one, and I bought another one. That's why I made a Discog, because I'm like, I can't be doing that.
Can't be doing that.
So I was gonna trade him, and we just, one of those things where like, oh, next time I see you, and it just never happened. And I don't even know if he has it anymore. So
yeah. So here's the question.
I'll get it this year.
Would you settle for a repress, or do you need to have like the OG?
I need the OG. Like for specific bands. Like,
I get it. Yeah. I get it. That's why I'm at. I'm just out of curiosity. There's some things like I wouldn't care about having a repress on, but there's some things I want the original or one of the originals, right?
Like when people repress them and do like compilate, like a comp of like their best hits and stuff, like I'll buy those too sometimes. Yeah. But like my goal is getting the original stuff.
Yeah. One of my it's not like the rarest record, but I have one. It's cool. I still have a Youth of Today, Can't Close My Eyes. That's still
the 7-inch?
But it's still sealed.
Oh, wow.
Because it was in shrink wrap. Mm-hmm. And if you go, like if you squeeze it, you can see the stickers and all the shit that it came with. So I'm leaving it totally.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Totally intact.
I have a copy of that too. My homie from Buffalo, shout out to Eric, sold me like a bunch of records for like a couple $100 back like years ago, and it just, he had so much heat. He had the Turning Point. He had Warzone, Lower East Side Crew. I said Turning Point, right?
Yeah.
Just the Straight Ahead Second Press I got from him, like some other stuff.
And where are you with all the Discord stuff? Do you rock that stuff?
Nah, like it's out of my ballpark. Like I have homies who have all that stuff, but I just don't. I never really pursued it. Like I felt like I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Era.
Yeah.
Like if I came across any of that for a good price, I would do it.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know what shit goes for anymore. I can't even imagine. Like I remember like the Minor Threats, like when you could get the OG 7 inches for like $40, $50.
Oh,
no. What are they now?
Yeah. Like
really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's what I definitely gotta go get these records. I could probably pay off my fucking building.
Honestly, you probably could. Like it's that crazy.
But is it still crazy? Like post COVID, I know shit went crazy during COVID because people had them like that extra $600 a week or whatever, and I saw records go bananas, and I was like, this is fucking insane. But did it come down again, or is it still like wild? It might just depend on.
Yeah, it might depend on the record and time and place thing, but I haven't really been paying too much attention to that, but I know like certain records are just like sought after.
Yeah, still, yeah.
And then like whenever like they do like a repress of something, like I know like the Discord has been doing like the boxes sets and stuff. I feel like if like an OG one popped up, that'll just like make people want that. Like, I don't know.
So that's interesting, right? Because you would think a repress would make the value go down because now someone has some kind of copy of it, but it actually makes people seek the original more, or probably
it would make me want to see
or some people that are programmed to want that the OG shit. What's your favorite record gets like story like I'll just say one for an example, like because I don't know if I'm asking the question right. Like my favorite record acquisition. And it's some people say, well, it's kind of sad, but it's not because he's still around. But I bought my my copy of Kids Will Have Their Say, SSD, off of Springer. in front of the Rat in like 1987 or something.
That's sick.
For like $20. And he put all kinds of original SSD stickers in it. And it's like, I'll never get rid of that because...
Yeah, that's like the ultimate story.
Because it's a good story. And I still have one of the stickers on my old BC Rich Warlock, like that we recorded the first ITI 7-inch with. So I'll like never get rid of that guitar. I don't give a shit about the guitar. There's stickers on that guitar that like are like OG like stickers that I'm like, I gotta
It's like
those.
Sentimental, like, you know?
Yeah. But do you have like a wild like record get like what, you know, whether it was like a story like that or like something that you took so long to hunt down and like found it in a weird way or something like?
So I remember going to Armageddon, the Boston one.
Yeah.
And I looked through the rare box and they had the Sick of It All first press 7-inch. And like, I shouldn't have, like, I mean, it was one of those things where I'm like, damn, I'm kind of broke. I could buy this. It was like $135. It was like, damn, I'm kind of broke. But I know this is like a grail for me because that's like,
yeah.
For Violence to Fade, like that was like the blueprint of like what I wanted to do, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
And even though that like that and like side by side, and I was just like, I think it was like tax season, so I just got my taxes back or about to, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and then we went to City Sports, like we're just walking around, and I left it there. Oh. And we go to like a venue like Democracy Center or something, and then I just go, oh snap, where's my record? And then I like run all the way back there, and it's still just sitting on like a rack of clothes, and I was just like, oh my god. Like,
yeah.
So that was kind of a scare.
Yeah.
It was like
it's just a wild record story. Yeah, yeah, man. It's something else, but it was fun back in the day. Like I admire the ethic you have with it, like where you like rather go hunt things down, and if you come across it, you get it, because that was like how it was, and I feel like it made you back in the day before you could trade online. People used to like, you could find in like Maximum Rock and Roll or like different hardcore or punk zines where people wanted like to trade records, and you could trade lists with people. It just took forever because like someone would send you their list and you don't know if they still had the shit. Like then you have to write a letter like, hey, do you still got this? And it was all like letters and shit, or you have to call and you know, and just really fucking sleuth and hunt shit down. But I feel like it made you appreciate it more because when you got it, like I fucking worked for this, dude. Like, or like I said, things were more mysterious before the internet because you heard about this record. You might not even ever fucking seen the record. Like, you're like, what does it look like? You know, like, and then you get it and you're like, oh shit, you know, or whatever. And it's like, you don't know what the bands look like. And, you know, it was just wild. And it was kind of fun when things were more wrapped in mystique, I think, you know, like, it's just
you appreciate it more, I guess, right?
But yeah, man, fucking. So you guys are writing new stuff?
Kind of like it's like, so 3 of us live in Western Mass, and the other live in New York. So it's like hard for us to get together to do anything.
Yeah. Now, did the other 2, were they always in New York? Or did they move to New York?
All right, so Restraining Order stories was pretty wild. Yeah. So the original lineup.
Let people know, because I'm sure there's a lot of fans of the band that would like to hear the backstory of Restraining Order, how that came together.
So we're like a 5-piece, Connecticut, Western Mass. Like our singer Pat and a guitar player Jake live in Connecticut, and then me, Will, and Kyle live in Western Mass. And we did the band, and then like Pat and Jake would just like come down and in the beginning stages to like practice whatever.
How did you guys all get together?
We have a practice space in Western Mass. They would just come down.
No, but like 2 of the guys being in Connecticut and you guys being in Western Mass, like how did it how did the band even get together?
So like even like Violence to Fade, we're like hybrid Connecticut, Western Mass. I feel like Western Mass and Connecticut because we're so close.
It's not that far, yeah.
So yeah, I met all those guys. Even back with Alert, like Jake ended up being our drummer as Alert when our original drummer left. And I think I met him through like Bridge 9 board was like, you know, like that was like the hub.
Popping, yeah.
So I met him through Bridge 9 board, and then finally at like a show in Connecticut or New York or something. And then I hit him up and I was like, yo, we need a drummer. You're straight edge, right? And he was like, yeah. And he came down and became our drummer. And then we got a second guitar player for Alert, was his friend Sean from Connecticut. So like that was my introductory to like all the Connecticut kids around my age. So we've always just kind of been tight. I would see their bands or like Alert would play with like their homies and stuff like that. And then like fast forward, when we started Restraining Order, Pat, like the singer, who's from Connecticut, like I've known him like for years at this point, and I saw him do a cover with when he went to Europe too with Caught in the Crowd because he did merch for them, and I played bass, and we went with this band also called Keep It Clear, and they covered Right Brigade by Bad Brains, and they would have Pat sing it, and he had crazy energy, and I was just like, I always wanted to do like a fast, like, you know, the what would become Restraining Order kind of sound, and we're like, yo, I'm gonna take Pat, like we got to use Pat.
Yeah.
So one day we were just like, New Year's resolution, we're gonna do it. It was winter 2016. We saw this band from Canada called Career Suicide. Me and Pat were both moshing, going off. We're like, yeah, let's do this band. Like we've been talking about it for years. Let's do it. And then a couple months later, we wrote the demo.
Nice.
That was it.
Cool.
But Pat moved to New York, and then Jake and Kyle, like they don't really tour with us. So we had Dylan, who was in like The Fight from Long Island, because we were cool with a lot of Long Island dudes too with Restraining Order, like all their bands, and we played with them and stuff like that. And we asked Dylan to fill in for a tour, and then he would just fill in all the time. We're like, all right, you're in the band.
Yeah.
So we kind of integrated him. So we kind of have 3 guitar players, but like Dylan's like the main one that plays shows.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah,
and Dylan and Pat both live in New York.
But that's cool, man, because you have like the dudes that like will play and write and stuff. But then if they can't do a show, you got other dudes. Like it's good to have those options because it's less limitations on what the band can do.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that's perfect. And as long as everyone's cool and like.
Yeah, honestly, we have like, we call it the Restraining Order Symphony Orchestra, but we have like a pool of like 6 or 7 people that tour to play guitar with us.
Yeah. Yeah, because you never know who's, especially now, like people are in multiple bands and someone might have other obligations and can't do a certain tour, but now
it's like, all right, who wants to do this one? Who wants to come?
Yeah. And who wouldn't want to go? Like, you know what I mean? Touring is, it's a fucking experience. I mean, there's highs and lows, right? Like some shit sucks, but some shit's fucking awesome, man.
I'm built for it. I could do this forever.
Yeah.
I would like to, but
yeah,
the older we get, the harder it is.
Yeah, and it's not even harder. Like, people think you say physically. No, it's just you have more obligations in life, and it's harder to get away for that time. It's like,
it's like, all right, I got to figure out a career or something.
Yeah. But what keeps you in it though, man? What keeps you wanting to do this? Keep touring and writing and doing shit.
Honestly, I feel like it's been part like I was so sheltered as a kid. I've always like my dream as an adult. I always wanted to just travel, meet people, hang out, and it's just I love doing that, and this lets me do that.
Absolutely.
And I like playing music too, so that helps. So it's like just in my job that I have now, I work retail. They just let me have some time off. I've been there since like high school, so like I have like a shit ton of vacation time, so like I can just go out and do stuff and not have to worry about like.
Yeah, and you're getting paid twice.
Yeah,
if you
sometimes. Yeah.
No, but it's cool. Like that's one of the hardest things, right? Especially like kids ain't getting rich on hardcore, right? So for the most part. Some people are.
A couple exceptions. Yeah. We for sure ain't. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But what I mean is like people don't understand it's a sacrifice to do, but like it's cool to be able to have a job where like you come back and you still have a job because like plenty of people leave and it's like, oh, fuck you, like, or they got to do weird stuff like a lot of dudes will like work as movers or something because like moving companies will let you go and come in and out of work when you can and fucking whatever.
Or they gotta go home and do like Uber Eats or something.
Yeah. A lot of dudes are doing Uber now because you can just choose to work when you want.
Yep.
It's wild. Like, I don't know. Dude, I could never do Uber Eats, right? Because like sometimes like here at the shop, right? Like I'll grab lunch for like me and the shop guys that work here. And just driving 5 minutes with food in your car, truck. I get back in my truck later, it still smells like. Oh, imagine if you did Uber Eats, like your car, you gotta have like mad like, was that Ozium or what those like fucking ionizer like fucking air fresheners to keep your car not smelling like every type of fucking food. I just want to be an asshole and order like fucking mad like seafood shit, like and make Uber Eats. I wish I knew a dude I didn't like that did Uber Eats, so I could just order the worst fucking shit and like fucking make him
like pick him specifically. He's like,
yeah. I want this motherfucker to bring me this fucking raw fish stew. But yeah, man. So, do you guys have any? Are you working on like any new releases or anything, or are you just in like the getting stuff together?
Like we recently got together. We're just like, we all have a free weekend. Let's just get together and write just for the hell of it. We don't really have any like end game for it. We just, if you're feeling the creative energy, you gotta, it's not every day you feel that in my opinion. So
how do you guys write being like all over the place? Like, do you guys like just, if you guys are together, someone has a couple riffs or something?
Yeah. Like people are like, oh, either like a riff or like a couple riffs to go together. Yeah. And then we kind of just build off of it. Like somebody will show like a riff on guitar. We're like, but not know what to do next. So we're like, what if you do this? And then we'll try it out. And they're like, no, let's do this. And you know,
that's cool. And then you guys have been together for a while now. So I'm sure you guys, know how each other, like can play off each other good.
So here's the funniest thing. So for Restraining Order, or I guess like since we have like, if you count, not counting Dylan, 4 of the 5 members were all in my very first band, Alert.
Okay.
Like me, Will, Jake, and Kyle at one point has been in Alert. Like Jake, Will was the first drummer and Jake was the third drummer. But so we've been doing shows since like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Like from 8 to 10 to now. Like, so we all have that synergy.
Yeah. It's got to be pretty easy then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you probably know what someone's going to bring. Like if you hear a riff, you're like, that motherfucker wrote it. Like, you know, yeah.
It's like, oh, this shit's mad melodic. Kyle definitely wrote this.
Yeah. So fucking, we're sitting here in that corner of the Bridgewater Triangle, and I know you're itching to talk about weird shit. So let's just fucking go, dude. We're almost an hour in. Let's just go, like, because I know it's gonna take off from there. What are you into right now? Because the same way the world of the fucking weird shit, the paranormal shit, is so huge and vast. Mm-hmm. And I've gone down a lot of different roads of like interests. Mm-hmm. And it's like hardcore, walking into a hardcore, like getting into hardcore, like in 2024, where there's like 40 years of history. Like you can go down, oh, do I like that early Revelation stuff? Do I like the early Discord stuff? Do I like the Detroit stuff? Do I like this? Or I like that. Like, so I know there's a million paths to go down. We go anywhere from Anunnaki to fucking Puckwudgies. Where are you right now? What are you doing right now? What are you into?
Right now?
Because I know you're in a rabbit hole, dude. Like there's always a rabbit hole.
So I'm definitely big into like UFO abductions stories because there's so many parallels like between different stories, and so like like the Betty and Barney Hill in New Hampshire,
that's one of the OG ones, like.
Yeah, I actually went up there with my buddy a couple of halls ago too, and we got a picture by it and all of that stuff.
They have like a plaque up there, don't they? Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
so a mix between like abduction stories and then like the ancient like Egypt stuff, like or ancient civilizations like Atlantis, or like what the pyramids were actually for. That's been a big thing recently, that they're saying like all the pyramids were actually like power sources.
Yeah, like batteries and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I saw some like really in-depth videos talking about like how like there's water under it and like how it works, like from a scientific method to like
you've seen that, like they posture that like when the pyramids were active, like it wasn't a desert. They were like, there was like the river was there, like it was like more lush. Mm-hmm. So, it kind of goes with that. Oh, and another big one that's been like interesting me a lot, to the point that I'm on Google Earth sometimes looking around, is freaking Antarctica. Like I want to know. Yeah.
I want to know what's up with Antarctica.
Have you seen any of the aerial photos, like the Google Earth images of the pyramids in Antarctica?
I have. And they're like, this is not a natural like formation.
There's other ones. There's some in Eastern Europe. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
That they found and won't uncover. For whatever reason,
Yeah, I just think it's so interesting that they're like, sure, there's like cruises and stuff around there, but there's certain parts of Antarctica that's just like off limits to everybody.
And it's even wiped off of like some of the like Google
Yeah, they like black it out.
Earth maps and stuff. Yeah, it makes you wonder what the fuck's under there. So what are your thoughts? Like you hear everything like from like fucking Nazi bases to like fucking
was it high jump, right?
Yeah. Yep. What are you thinking is going on over there?
I think there's something there. I think there's remnants of like either like an ancient technology, because it goes into the whole like the pole shifting too. Like maybe there's like a flash freeze and Antarctica like just moved and just like it froze over because they're like finding like organisms and like they're when they drill in the hole, they're finding like organisms and weird like old shit.
Yeah. It's like weird to think like a movie like The Thing, like that could be some fucking shit like that popping off right now, or at least some like because wasn't there like a scare about a virus or something that they found down there, like and like it's like a fucking deadly fucking virus to humans, and it's like they unleashed it from like fucking drilling, and that's true story. That's not The Thing, you know.
Yeah, you can look that up right now.
Yeah.
I think there's they found something there that they don't want anybody to know about.
Yeah.
Whether it's like remnants of a civilization or, you know, dare I say, some extraterrestrial shit. Like, I mean, if you're coming to this planet and you're trying to like be you know, away from everybody, you're gonna go there or, you know, underwater or something.
Well, there's
Alaska.
A lot of there's a lot of the they call it a USO, right? Unidentified submergible objects. That there's a lot of video and testimonies about UFOs coming in and out of the ocean. Ocean's so vastly unexplored that there's plenty of hiding places there if you're gonna try and hide out, right?
If I just think of it as me, like if I'm coming to this planet and I don't want nobody to know where I am, nobody knows about what's under there. Just you have the technology to like withstand the pressures. Like let's go.
But that's the cool thing about that Antarctica shit. Like, cause like chances are we're never gonna find out what's there, but you know something's up, and something's been up for decades. Like since World War II era, or even pre World War II era, there was Arctic explorations and like weird shit going on. And
like the ancient maps you see where they show Antarctica and like
yeah. Or did you ever hear about that sound? There's like a sound emanating up there that's like the largest, like the loudest recorded sound. And they can't figure out what it is, but they're tracing it up from like that area, like from like the pole and stuff, and they're like, we don't know what this is, but it's like, but it's underwater, you know? It's like,
oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. We gotta go find out.
Yeah.
We got a remote view over there.
Get that dude in Southeast Asia to book you guys out there, man. You guys got motherfuckers booking you in weird spots. Let's get an Antarctic show. We'll do Restraining Order, War Machine, and bring a couple other bands, and we'll do the first Antarctic show.
I'm down.
Man. Fuck it. But yeah, no, it's amazing. Like, there's so much cool shit. There's so much weird shit out there, and people are quick to dismiss it. And some stuff is wacky, and some stuff is whatever. But it's like, if you look at the world that way, like you're closing your eyes to a lot of fucking fun shit, like, or potentially mind fucking blowing shit. Like who knows? Like, how do you know that's fucking not happening or that didn't happen? Or how do you know this is what happened fucking 5,000 years ago? Like you gotta keep your mind open to shit because there's a lot of weird shit going on, you know? And, it's fun to think about that stuff because the other area of, thinking that will put you in a negative space really fast is thinking about all the bullshit that's going on in the world right now. And there's a lot of weirdness and conspiracy that you could get on. But sometimes I like just thinking about the paranormal shit because it's fun, you know what I mean? And it keeps me away from all that other shit, you know what I mean? The money and power shit and control shit. Like
the Illuminati powers that be stuff.
Yeah.
I am into that too, to an extent, but like it kind of scares me in a sense.
Yeah.
So I kind of like deviate from it.
And see, it doesn't scare me. It bums me out and it gets me like super aggro. Like I just go from like pissed to bummed out. And then I get like down on people because I'm like, all these motherfuckers just got their heads in the sand. All this shit's going on right around us. And everyone's worried about fucking Taylor Swift being at the fucking football game. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's way bigger shit going on under your fucking eye, right in front of our faces right now. And it's like, all right, let me just talk about some ghost shit with somebody because it's like, I can't even think about the other shit. You know what I mean? I get, for lack of a better word, what do they call black pills? You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, we're fucked. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
let's talk about some rad shit and You know, I did that podcast with the Colin with people talking about weird shit. But your boy George, you ever hear his whole story about the brain fucking?
I didn't until then.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah, but the seeing the shadow person, I was like,
see, my thing is like, I've never had any experiences.
Well, that was where I was gonna go. Yet I know you're super into it. Have you had anything?
No. Sometimes I'm driving home at night. It'll be like 1 a.m. I'm going through like farmland, desolate area. And I'm like, I just want to look to my left and just see like something just there.
Yeah.
But, you know, my car just turns off. Like all the electricity go off and then like 4 hours go by and I'm just like, where'd the time go? Like, I just want one of those stories.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to do anything too bad to me.
Well, you got to take the ride. If you buy the ticket, bro, you got to take the ride. You don't know where the ride's going.
You know, and then I want to be like, have a dream. I'm like, oh, snap. Like I went to Saturn. But but is it real or is it a dream? Like, I don't know.
Well, you know. Yeah, it's weird, man, because I have a lot of people that I know that shit's happened to or have different experiences, and you know, who knows what it is? Like, is it something in your head? Is it something that really happens? And if it is something that really happened, what actually was it? It's fun to think about this stuff. People get too caught up in like it's this. I know, and it's like no one knows shit. You know what I mean? And if you approach it like that, it keeps it fun because it keeps it, for lack of a better word, like I don't know, like every adjective I have sounds really fucking corny, but it's true. Like it's like magical, right? Like it's like there's a lot of fucking crazy shit in the world, man. It's like cool to keep your eyes open to it and explore it because it's like, you know.
My thing is like it's all interesting, and for me, it's fun to try to like fit the pieces together.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of parallels and there are a lot of things that make sense and complement each other. And I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know what's real and what's not, but it's, you know, it's fun to see.
Yeah, but something we can say is real is that there's pyramids. These pyramids are all on these lines. You know what I mean?
The ley lines?
The ley lines.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all over the world. And, you know, you got pyramids in Southeast Asia. You got pyramids in Mesoamerica. You got pyramids in the Middle East. And the ones in Mesoamerica and Southeast Asia look a lot alike. So what was going on back then? There had to be some kind of communication between people. And some of the gods or some of the like the characters that are in these pyramids are like very similar. You know what I mean? Like the Quetzalcoatl's and stuff. And, you know, and there's like you know, Asian versions of it and stuff. It makes you wonder what was going on. And, you know, one of the things right now is that I know one of the kind of theories going on is that there were more advanced human civilizations and that got wiped out due to whatever floods or whatever is going on, and that we lost a lot of the ancient technology and wisdom. Then there's people that think it was all aliens that built it and we were just kind of like slave labor or, you know, whatever. Do you lean a certain way?
I think it could be a little bit of both. You know, there could have been an ancient civilization that just got like, I don't know, like some kind of divine direction. You know, like,
when you say divine, do you mean like from quote unquote the gods, or do you mean from extraterrestrial?
Both. I think they're all the same. Yeah, maybe it's extraterrestrial, maybe it's interdimensional because I'm into that stuff too.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I really would like to think that that's the case. I don't know. Like if somebody had a gun to my head and was just like, "Tell me what you believe," like I don't know. You know,
it's true. I'm the same way.
It's too hard, but like for me, it's more fun and makes a lot more sense for that to be a thing than like I grew up like super Pentecostal, going to church and stuff, and like the Bible, like all, the Bible stories are all as interesting to me as like this stuff too. Like I think there's like a lot of like similarities and stuff, but like
there's a lot of paranormal type stuff in the Bible, like, you know, or like, and people dismiss it because I don't know why, right? And I'm not like coming from any super religious background, but those stories can be just as interesting of like the fucking crazy shit that went on. And like, why would you know, you're going to talk about some ancient Mayan stuff, but you're going to discount this other stuff. It's all written records, you know what I mean? And there's all weird stuff going on who knows what the source of it is, right? Like, you know, and but people will be quick to dismiss Bible stuff because they attach like a holy roller element or something to it. I don't know why, right? Like, I'm even like that with religious stuff. Like, I'm not agnostic. I believe there's something, but I don't know what it is. And I won't know what it is till I fucking die. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to, like, I'll just try and be cool. Like, you know what I mean? While I'm on the world, you know what I mean? But I don't know what to, you know, like, who knows what the fuck happens, right? Like, there's people that have like diehard beliefs, and it's cool if it makes you a better person, you know what I mean? But if it doesn't, then
it could be.
What are you doing?
Like, it's like, there's too many variables. Like, it's too, like, you can't, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
it's wild.
Like the whole organized religion thing, and then it's just like growing up the way I did, it's just like nobody was able to answer my questions, like, as a kid, you know?
Yeah, and they don't. A lot of the organized religion doesn't want to deal with the more fantastic or paranormal elements of the Christian religion that are right there in front of their face, like,
or Catholic, like.
Yeah,
they know at the top. They know what's going on. Yeah. But they're obviously like.
You ever see like when they break down the imagery on like the Pope, or like, you know, like like that, the heavy high up like religious figures, and they're like, yeah, well, that's what, you know, and they're like tying in, like, they have Egyptian shit, they got like weird fucking all kinds of shit going on. There's weird arcane knowledge in the world that higher ups know that we don't. There's a group we ain't part of that knows what the fuck is going on, and it's scary. It's like, are they holding it from us because they don't think we can handle it, or are they holding it from us just because they're using it 100% as a means of control? I don't know.
We may never know.
We may never know, but it's fun shit to think about.
You think the Templars started with that? Oh, like a big portion of that.
So, you know, what a big story, what the big kind of, for people that might not be familiar, the story of the Templars is that while they were excavating Solomon's temple, they found the Ark of the Covenant, and then they used it, like, and they like were holding it and hiding it and entrusted to keeping it. But then there's a story of what's the Ark of the Covenant, like, right? Is it some kind of ancient machine? Is it really like tablets of God, like God of the Bible, or is it like some ancient alien technology? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? And what were they doing with it?
It's just everything you dig into, just more questions pop up. And
but still, stuff can still tie together, and it's just like, it's interesting, man. But, you know, see, so you get into that, then you get into, then they wipe the Templars out, like. The king wipes the Templars out, and it's like, what was that for, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, there's. It's
like, were they just mad because they were getting too rich, or were they like too much of a threat to their power?
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff, and it's hard, right, to really go through history, because history's written by the winners, right? Like, so you don't know the whole story.
Yeah,
and then. You know what I wish never happened? Like the big fires of like in Alexandria and stuff, like where all like the world's knowledge is burnt. You know what I mean? Like, imagine how much the world would be different if like some of that stuff, more of that stuff survived, you know, and we could go back. They're still translating different Sumerian tablets and stuff, like the cuneiform tablets.
Oh yeah,
that's all bizarre. Were you on the Anunnaki stuff?
That's kind of where all it started with me, to be honest. Like this whole thing.
I love right now that people that were listening to this to talk about hardcore records are like, what the fuck are these guys talking? And literally, we're going to go through this shit fast, but we're just giving you keywords to Google. You know what I mean? Get down the fucking rabbit holes. Get down the rabbit holes, or get your shovels ready, because you're going to be going down some if you start Googling any of this shit we're talking about right now.
Very, very quick story to like lead into that really quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
My grandmother was super into Coast to Coast when I was a kid. So like that was like kind of like the foundation of me getting into this.
Well, and that's what I was going to do. Like, how did you even, and mine's the same thing, listening to Coast, or like sitting in my room, or even when I was a kid, I remember my father, like I bugging my father to bring me to the Bermuda Triangle movie. And there was like a Bermuda Triangle movie that played in theaters. It was like a documentary, but I was like literally a child, like first or second grade. And I was so fucking scared that night, because I was like, what the fuck is going on in the world? I was like, you gotta leave the lights on, like shut my closet door. Like I thought my closet was gonna be a portal to another fucking dimension and shit.
Oh shit.
And yeah, but But I've been thinking about this shit since a child now. But go ahead. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I get excited about this shit.
No, you're good. You're good. So that was like the kind of the subconscious like foundation. But I remember distinctly back to MySpace, like hardcore era. I used to go in this like MySpace hardcore chat. That's kind of how I met Keith.
Yeah.
Used to go in there too. And I was like, oh, snap, a hardcore person. But one time this kid went in there and started spitting out just typing out lyrics, and he was like, so here I stand on the four corners of Stonehenge, traversing the portals to thunderbolt and battle. And I was like, what is that? And it was just like blew my mind. And he told me it was like Winds of War by Jedi Mind Tricks.
Yeah.
So I listened to the record and or like the song first, and I was just like, whoa, like what is he talking about? So like I kept pausing it and like just writing down everything, every reference.
Yeah.
And I
like that you're like a researcher.
Yeah. And I was just like, I was like, what is this? And I was like, Anunnaki, Elohim. I was like, what is all of this? I just went down a rabbit hole. It was crazy.
But like Elohim and Nephilim and all that stuff, you want to get into wacky stuff? That's all in different books of the Bible. Like, you know, like.
So I have
get the Book of Enoch and talk about some alien shit with the Bible, right?
I have like a podcast that I do sometimes with my homie Shane. Shout outs to Shane.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to get you to bring out the podcast too.
And it's called Seekers of the Unknown. And
I like that you had to pause to think about what the name of your own show was.
Because I have a secret Facebook group called Seekers of the Truth.
Okay.
Aliens and the Unknown, that everybody I found through hardcore that was like into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That like we could all like congregate and talk about this without like being weird. So like it started off as that, and then I changed it up for the podcast a little bit. But we actually did an episode on angels, like all like the different angels are not like the people with the wings that everybody thinks about. They look scary, you know.
Yeah. I've seen a lot
eyes
of
everywhere.
Yeah,
and like,
when people have like, especially with AI, they've used AI to create renditions of what an angel would look like based on the descriptions in old books or the Bible and stuff, and it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I wish we had I wish this was like one of the video ones, so that we could have popped up pictures and shit, like, cause it's wild. Just look it up. Just Google what do angels really look like, and I'm sure it'll come up.
So when you said
or hit Keith up directly, and he'll message you.
I got you. But with the Anunnaki thing, you know, like they came to like they wanted the gold, so they mixed the primitive species of Earth with their DNA to create humans, and
which is what, you know, where the missing link is supposedly, you know.
Yeah, like I go back and forth on how much of that I believe. Like I'm more of like I'm open to it. Like I guess it can kind of make sense, you know, like.
But what's crazy is no matter what, right, is that if you go back and look, this is an ancient Sumerian kind of religion thing, like years, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago, pre-Christian. And you just go read the Zechariah Stitchin stuff if you want to learn more about that. But the how a lot of these beliefs transcend any specific religion, but so many religions have the same stories, like a virgin birth or like resurrection and this and that. And there's all these like parallels between all these different religions and like religious beliefs. And it's like, it's got to be rooted in something.
Yeah. Like Christianity is like, oh, we were made in God's image and like stuff like that. And it's like the same thing with the Anunnaki, you know,
Yeah. That's what I mean. There's so many weird parallels.
But do I believe in the Anunnaki? Kinda. I don't know.
So you think Nibiru's coming? Yeah. Planet X. Yeah. I had I was so excited about this because, you know, I lift. I go to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm always so beat from, you know, running this, the bike shop, the podcast, the bar and tattoo shop, whatever. I'm always like burnt out. So I have to do a pre-workout energy drink. And literally there's 2 different pre-workouts that I've gotten that have been so fucking gnarly that like a wild, like you're like, bro, like I feel like I'm on like, full disclosure, I've never taken methamphetamine, but I'm like, this must be the closest to what methamphetamine tastes like, or is experienced like. But one of them, it was a pre-workout. Did I send you a picture of it? Nibiru?
No,
that's... And it's like literally it was this galactic picture and it was just called Nibiru. And I'm like, I want to know who fucking made this.
Yeah, that's sick.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're one of the creators of that pre-workout, I need to know the story behind it. Or you know, I probably just got to Google it. I just never did. But yeah, it's just so funny. It's just an off story. I'm like, why would someone call a pre-workout energy drink that? The other one's called Berserker Frenzy. So, appropriately titled, right? So anyway, shout out to Norse Fitness for making that one because it's fucking great.
Oh, that's cool. Norse, Berserker, mushrooms. Yeah. I know all that.
That's the fucking great thing, man. Imagine literally being what we're talking about here is that in the days of the Viking, there were this like special forces group called the Berserkers. But what they used to do is take mushrooms when they went into battle. I can't even imagine. I take mushrooms and I'm like seeing like different universes, or I'm like freaking out thinking I'm stuck at a Renaissance fair on a bad trip, like at the fucking Black and Blue Bowl in fucking New York, like a fucking idiot. In the Brooklyn Monarch where there's a little merch area outside where everyone sets up their tents.
Oh yeah.
I ate a whole mushroom chocolate bar and I was like freaking out. I thought I was stuck in a Renaissance fair and I was so fucking pissed off. Not the trip you want, but anyway, I just can't imagine like going into battle like fucking flying on shrooms, dude. Like, I gotta try it. I'm gonna get in a fight.
Just to put my nerd glasses on for a second. There's an anime about Vikings called Vinland Saga, and one of the dudes is like a berserker, and he's going into battle and he eats the mushroom, and he just goes like he just starts plowing through enemies, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is crazy.
I know. We gotta start a fight club where we do mushrooms and like, I just can't imagine like what the fuck is going on? What do you?
I'm sure it's like a specific one, right?
Yeah, it's got to be like.
We got to find out.
Yeah, we got to do a little more research. If anyone knows that, hit me up. Like, I'm gonna do a little research in it. But anyway, yeah, we've been flying all over the place. What else, man? What you brought up a couple things that I think are interesting things going on right now. Mm-hmm. Extraterrestrial versus interdimensional. They've pretty much there was research recently that proved the existence of other dimensions. I remember reading some about this, but I can't pull up. We're gonna have to do another episode where we do it a little more focused and do a deep dive into something and come in a little prepared, because this is just full disclosure, us flying off the handle like freestyle. And I know we're going all over the place, but we're giving you guys a lot to think about and to look into. You know, the whole portal into different dimensions, and there's so much going on with that right now. It's a hot topic right now, and it's interesting. But it kind of also makes sense because, you know, people that are thinking about extraterrestrial stuff also, I've had a couple people on, Chris Pittman, Matt, who wrote the book Encounters. He was on the new Netflix show about people who've been abducted or had extraterrestrial experiences. I can't remember the name of that show. It's came out this year or a few months ago on Netflix.
Is it the one where they talk about like the UK one, and then is it the it's abductions, or is it like UFO sightings?
I think it's abductions. People who've had encounters.
Okay.
But this guy Matt, who came on the podcast, had a book, and he talks about like he was on the Roosevelt when they filmed the gimbal footage, and was like one of the first to see it because he was a cryptologist in naval intelligence, and then he just. If you haven't heard that one, I'm going to send it to you. Listen to it; it's fucking wild.
Yeah, I have to hear that.
And he wrote a whole book, and he's on that Netflix series now. He's actually the first guy they talked to. Really good dude. He's out in Arizona now. But his whole thing was he had this whole interaction the same way Chris Pittman, when Chris said he's going to stop doing all the research because they were interacting with him and fucking with him. The same thing happened to this guy. Matt, and they both said they don't know what it is, but it's some kind of non-human intelligence that's interacting with us on this plane, and really getting fucked with, like, and it's outside the normal kind of just general UFO abduction stuff. Like, it's like, and so if you like the Chris Pittman one, listen to that one too, and then we'll talk about it offline sometime, but or back on the show sometime, but. It's just wild. It's wild stuff. So, you know, it has brought up another kind of area of just thought for me. Is like, yeah, like, I mean, if there's parallel universes or other dimensions, not universes, sorry, dimensions. Like,
it's like, how does that work? Or
how does that work?
How do you access them? Like,
yeah, it is like,
can they come in?
Is shit seeing us like right now, like, but they're somewhere else, and is there shit we're just not? Because they say like shit's going on that we don't perceive, but it's going around us all the time.
Yeah, because everything works with like.
I like how you're looking around, like
light and energy and vibration and frequencies and
yeah, there's a lot of weird shit out there.
Nikola Tesla knew what was up.
Yeah,
there's a quote I always say, or I tell people sometimes. It's like, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you have to think of it in terms of frequency and vibration, or something like that. And I was like, that's always been like on the backbone of my mind. And I'm just like, it's right. Like everything is energy, like literally everything.
Yeah. And I know you're straight edge, and I know we've just talked like offline about psychedelics, like not you doing, you know, just like talking about them, like how like weird and wild they are. There's also this whole thing with like different, like Tibetan monks and stuff. They chant at a certain frequency, and that gets them in the same meditative state where you're open in the same part of the mind that like a psychedelic might. And my boy Ty, who is like heavily involved in martial arts, and said that, you know, there's a lot of the monks will meditate to get to that same place, that mushrooms just help you get there faster, or DMT might get you there faster. And you do go someplace else. It's if you do it right, you go somewhere else. There's no other way to explain it. Like, you were looking at something else. Like, it can't just be all shit going on in your mind. You know what I mean? Like, your mind's opened up to seeing other shit. It's fucking wild.
I heard they're doing like a thing where like people take DMT and they're all recording similar experience. They're kind of like mapping out the place that DMT takes people.
Yeah.
And like the entities they're encountering are like the same.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the
DMT, what's it called? Like, I don't want to say goblin.
Maybe, no, the elves.
The elves, yeah.
Elves, yeah. So the time I launched with DMT, all that happened was like, I was like in like a tunnel, you know, going through like, it's almost like going on a roller coaster through a tunnel, but the tunnel is just all geometric shapes, patterns, moving. And then I just kept seeing something come like on my peripheral vision, like it was like a female form, like a female entity. But if I looked, it went away. So it was like, see, no one can see what I'm doing right now, but like it was coming up on my right side. But if I looked to my right, it went back. But if I looked forward, it started coming forward again. And I could see it was like someone like running right next to you. Okay. But then if you looked over at them, they fell back. That's kind of what happened. And I remember seeing like kind of the end of the tunnel being, oh man, I'm right there. I'm going to burst through, get right through. And then I snapped out of it. No. And I was like, God damn it. And it was like, and I was like, I all I knew is that like if I had taken one more rip of DMT, I would have burst through. And then it's like, but I was too like, I was like, I wanted to stay in that and not lose it. So I fucked up. Like I should have just taken the rip, you know?
Oh yeah. You're trying to like prolong it. Just like,
yeah, because I was like, this is so fucking awesome. Yeah,
I'm right there. And then it was just like, nope.
It's like the one time I went skydiving once. We jumped from 14,500 feet. But you had two choices. You could jump by yourself, but you only jumped from like 4,000 feet and you were on a ripcord and it opened your parachute and you had no free fall. Or you could do tandem for your first jump where someone's strapped to you. But we jumped from 14,500 feet. No, sorry. If you did it by yourself, it was like 7,000 feet or whatever. But anyway, you were on a cord and it pulled and you got no free fall. So I wanted the free fall. And I remember it was the same thing. Like, so we jump out the plane and the guy's like, I'll tap you when it's time to pull the cord. But the free fall was so fucking amazing. He's like tapping me and I'm like, just another second. But meanwhile, you don't see how fast you're approaching the ground. And then finally he just pulled it because I was like, I wasn't going to pull it. I was like, I'm like fucking flying, bro. It was like fucking wild. And, but it was the same thing. It was like, I didn't want to come out of that. But if I would have and just took one more rip, I could have burst through. But I've never gotten there again.
Oh, really?
I've only done it a couple times. So it's really hard to do. It sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gross. So like, it tastes gross. It smells gross. It's like there's a certain way you got to do it. Like, and it's wild.
I just got to achieve it, you know,
just
through meditation.
You can do it through meditation. But what I was going to say is the time with mushrooms that I really went on a long journey, for lack of a better word. When I came to, like, kind of out of it, I was in my bedroom, and I had put on monks chanting, and it was at that frequency. I forgot what the megahertz is, but I can look it up, but 2.8 or something, just for lack of, don't hold me to that, but it's something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's whatever hertz, right? And it was just on, and I remember just looking at my phone going, I don't remember doing this. Oh, wow. And then the picture at the phone was still like, wavy and weird, like, and it was like moving and shit, and I was just like, and it's like, it was like literally like this monk like sitting at the bottom, like on like a mountain or something, looking at the base of a tree, like looking, and there was like a mountain and shit. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, how did I find this? Why is this on? But I feel like it definitely aided because I've never had a journey like that. It was like intergalactic for lack of a better term. Yeah. And it's like, I'll tell you about it offline. It's just like a whole long story, but yeah, it's just wild. But you can get there and still retain your straight edge. There's credibility.
You can even on Spotify, they got the Hemisync albums with like the guided meditation or like just frequencies that are just like you can just like look it up. But my problem is my mind, like I don't know if I have ADHD or something, but my mind's always racing.
Mine too.
So I try to meditate and I'm addicted to technology. So I'll try to meditate and then I'll just be like, I don't know. I need to look at my phone.
How long do you get?
Yeah, like
like minutes.
If I like really strap down and like I'm gonna do this, maybe like 10 minutes. But
that's 10 minutes is better.
But I've done that maybe like 3 times in the past like 5 years.
You gotta put your phone on the other side of the room.
Yeah, and I gotta like dim my lights and like I don't know. What I need is like a homie to also do it and then be like, yo, we're gonna like I need to be held accountable. Like if it's up to me, I'm just gonna be like, I'll put it off. Like I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
You know what the other thing is like I get growing up like with a bunch of friends that are fucking jackasses, like we always fuck with each other. Like I'm so gun shy about shit sometimes. Like if I sit there and meditate, I don't want to lose focus of what's going on around me in my environment. I feel like someone's gonna fuck with me, even if I'm like home alone and I do it. I'm like, someone's gonna fuck with me right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be taken off guard. Like, I'm always on guard. So it's like it's hard to let that down to do it, and you gotta, like, you know what I mean? Because the mushrooms is like you got no choice. You're like fucking flying.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a cheat code, kind of.
Yeah, it is. It's 100% a cheat code, and you're like, and you can't do it unless you got a few hours, man, because there's no controlling it. Like, and you're going for the ride.
I'm gonna see the other side.
Yeah,
soon.
You're gonna have to buckle down, dude.
I'm gonna talk to the elf and be like, yo, what's up? It's like, what's your name?
I don't even know if like I never saw like the elves or anything. Like I said, I just saw like a face, and that face was still made out of the same like geometric pattern. What I will say, which is a weird thing, and if anyone's had experience with this, when I did DMT and then I did mushrooms again, I feel like the DMT unlocked something in the brain where the mushroom trip got more DMT-ish. If that makes any sense. Like it wasn't just like, it was like way more.
It like unlocked some safeguards or something.
Yeah,
or like some locks. Like
it was way more geometric. All I can say is that when you're really going, like I literally in my head was thinking, I am seeing the coding behind reality. Like, you know, you look at like someone writing computer code and it's just like all like a string of numbers and weird shit. Yeah. Like I was like, I'm looking at the coding behind our reality. And I was convinced of it. And I was like, really was like, this is it? It's fucking crazy. It's wild, dude. It's fucking wild.
That's sick.
I think everyone should do some kind of psychedelic at least once. Like, you know what I mean? Like in a controlled, smart environment. Like, you know, or like even if it's the ayahuasca, go on the guided trip with like a trusted shaman or professional. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you come out like different. Like it's wild. This isn't like edge breaking, like, you know what I mean? I'm just like saying, you know what I mean?
No, that's not. That's not edge break. I know people are listening like, yo, is Keith? Yeah. I'm already like sus anyway, because I'm like one of those that always posting like, there's like a picture of me like at a bar with like my head down with the beer there, like holding it,
playing around.
Yeah, just like playing around. So like people don't even know what I am anymore, but
But it's fun to fuck with people. Keep them guessing. Who cares?
DMT straight edge is cool.
Yeah, DMT straight edge. You're not.
We have it. You know, it's in our brains.
Yeah. You every human, or no, not human, every living thing creates it, makes it. Everything makes it. You could eat enough grass and get enough DMT to trip.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, grass. It's in grass. It's in plants. It's everywhere. I mean, you would have to eat like fucking like a bale of it, probably like more than you could ever really digest. But
I'd probably be having a lot of more stomach issues before that happened.
Yeah, man.
On the toilet.
That's a whole different world of pain and psychedelic stuff we want to talk. But yeah, man. Anything else going on? Anything else we wanted to bring up? Like, how often I know you're doing the podcast is like as you know, it's a tough thing. So you're doing them as you can. Like, are they coming out like once a month or something? Or
we were trying to do like I remember you even giving me advice. We were trying to do the bi-weekly thing, but I went on tour like last year, 2023 was just like I was just never home, so it was like really hard.
Yeah,
we tried to do it while I was away one time, and we did one episode on Mount Shasta because I didn't know about Mount Shasta at the time, and I happened to be staying like a town over, and I was just like, let me look up Mount Shasta, and I was just like, holy, like every single paranormal thing you can think of all happens there, and I was just like, I had no idea. So we did an episode just briefly talking about that, but it's just been kind of hard.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get back on it. To be safe, I'll say maybe once a month.
Yeah. How is it on like all the podcast platforms?
So no, we're only on Spotify right now, and
can you have Spotify push it to the other ones? I think there's a way to do that.
Oh really? We got to look into that. We had it on Spotify, and we had it on I forgot what it was called, but they changed like somebody bought it, and now
Stitcher or something like that.
No, dang, what was it? It was Spotify, and then we're not on Apple or anything. It was like a website, and then a company bought it, so it became like. I'm trying to look it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want, I can show you the way to get it on everything. It's like you use the service. You remember TuneCore?
Mm-mm.
So TuneCore was a way like for bands like to have their music pushed out to all the streaming platforms.
Okay.
It's like the same thing. You use like a company like Libsyn, and they host your podcast, and then they put it up on all the different platforms. So you'd get on Apple and Android, and all those different ones.
What if you have past episodes? Can you like put them all on there?
Yeah. You'd load it. It would be all in your RSS feed, but it'd go on Spotify. It'd go on them all. But I think there's a way you can have it hosted through Spotify, and they'll push it all too.
Okay.
I'll show you the one I use, but you can.
That would be dope.
And they cost a little bit of money, but it's nothing crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's cool because it'll get you out to get you out way more. Spotify is good, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of people listen on it, but there's still a lot of people that listen to it on like the Apple or the Android, you know what I mean? It's worth getting it out to more.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what's anything else coming up this year for people to look out for? You got music, you got podcasts. What else you got going on? Anything else?
What is this? March. I know my year's pretty packed already, just between like music. Like I got another new band I'm doing. More like punk, like UK2 or kind of vibe 3-piece stuff. So that should be coming out probably within the next couple.
What's that called?
Couple months. It's called Grem, GREM. I keep hitting my knee.
That's
I got long knees.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be playing bass and singing. So
nice.
First time ever doing that full time. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, man.
Other than that, I'm just chilling.
Yeah. Where can people find out? Where can people find the podcast to find out more about what you're going on? Shout out all the social medias and stuff.
So my social media is I think it's Keith X Awake on Instagram. That's like, Keith X Awake because I'm a big Wide Awake fan. And it's just everything I have is Keith X Awake now. I have like a link tree on my Instagram. It's linktree/Keith X Awake, but I have like.
So that's your main link though. Like if you're on your Instagram profile, the link tree's up there where the link is.
Yeah, and it shows you all my bands.
Yeah,
like the band camps and also the Seekers stuff. And I also have like I tag Seekers of the Unknown on my Instagram. So Just go to my Instagram, and then you can find like pretty much everything from there.
Hell yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Well, thanks for coming on today, man. I'll let me call Roger. We'll see if he's over there.
Record store. That's about to be another reason why is like I know I have no self-control sometimes. Like if
you don't want to go there, if you want to go another time,
no, I'm down. But if I see a record that I want, I'm probably just gonna buy it. Like like I think about the consequences later. I just get it. You know.
I remember when we were kids, like fucking broke as shit. Like we would save up enough money to go to the show, whatever show was that weekend, and buy a record. And like to support the band, buy a record or a shirt. But like me and my friend, literally, we'd buy a loaf of bread and a gallon of water, and that's what we had for the day because the budget was getting to the show and buying a fucking record. That was way more important.
That was the priority.
Yeah, it was like literally like living like ancient prisoners. Like you got water and bread. Like, but hey, because bread's like cheap and it fills you up. You know what I mean? And water you need, so.
I respect that, honestly.
That's what you do when you love something, right? All right, well, fuck yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to shut this off here.